All right, so today we're diving into some pretty mind-bending stuff. We're talking artificial superintelligence.
ASI, for short.
Exactly, ASI. And it's a future that might be a lot closer than any of us think, right?
That's right, yeah.
We're talking timelines of like a few thousand days, according to Sam Altman. And, he's the CEO of OpenAI. These are the folks who brought us ChatGPT. Now, if you're anything like me, you might be thinking, okay, ASI, AI, what's the difference? Well, our main source today is PYMNTS.com. They're a great source for all things payments and commerce.
And this is relevant because, well, you'll see, these industries are kind of right in the path of this whole AI revolution.
Yeah, absolutely. So this article, it really breaks down the difference between ASI and AGI. That's artificial general intelligence.
Yeah, so AGI, that's basically AI that can do pretty much anything a human can intellectually.
Okay, so like it can write a report or...
Exactly. Write a report, compose an email, all that.
But ASI,
that takes it a whole other level. Think, analyze global trends, and then write that report predicting future market shifts and doing it all with incredible accuracy.
So it's not just doing what a human can do. It's like next level.
Light years ahead.
Okay, that's a little unsettling, but I'm with you. So Altman seems pretty gung-ho on this whole ASI thing, predicting it in a few thousand days. He even talks about having these personal AI teams, like virtual versions of ourselves. It sounds like something straight out of a movie.
It does have a certain, sci-fi appeal to it, doesn't it? But not everyone's quite so, I guess, optimistic. The article also brings in Yann LeCun. He's Meta's chief AI scientist, and he's a little more, let's say, grounded.
Yeah. Okay, so we've got some differing opinions here. What's LeCun's take? Why the hesitation?
Well, he argues that even our most, quote-unquote advanced AI models, they still lack a real understanding of the world.
Like true comprehension.
Exactly. They're amazing at processing information, don't get me wrong, but they don't really, get it the way we do.
So it's like AI can write that killer essay, but it doesn't actually understand what it's saying.
That's a great way to put it, yeah. And LeCun argues that this lack of understanding, of real comprehension, that's the biggest roadblock on the path to true ASI.
Okay, so let's say just for a minute that Altman's right, that ASI is right around the corner. What does that even mean for, everyday people? Like, are robots going to be applying for our jobs?
Well, that's the million-dollar question, isn't it? And it's something that the article dives into quite a bit. The impact of ASI on the job market, that's a big one.
Yeah, I bet. I mean, it's one thing to have robots flipping burgers, but it's another thing entirely if they're, gunning for my desk job, really.
You're hitting the nail on the head, yeah. The article quotes Brandon Da Silva. He's the CEO of Arenix Labs, and he's pretty convinced that ASI is going to displace most jobs.
Whoa, both blue and white collar.
Both. No one's safe, according to Da Silva. But it's not all doom and gloom.
Okay, good, because I was about to panic.
The article also brings in Matt McMullen. He's the COO of Realbotics, and he offers a bit more of a balanced perspective, I guess.
Okay, so what's McMullen's take?
So he agrees that, a lot of our existing jobs, they're going to be automated. But he also points out that new jobs, they always emerge alongside these kinds of big technological shifts.
So kind of like what happened with the digital music revolution.
Yeah, perfect example. Remember record stores?
Oh, yeah. Gone.
And all those jobs, stocking shelves, selling CDs, those are gone. But then we got this whole new wave of jobs. App developers, streaming service providers, you name it. And McMullen thinks we'll see the same thing with ASI. Think AI maintenance, AI ethics, even just humans and AI working together. Those are all new roles, things we haven't even thought of yet.
Okay, so there's a little glimmer of hope there. Maybe robots aren't coming for all of our jobs.
We can hope, right? But the article doesn't shy away from some of the potentially negative implications. Like, what about companies that are at the forefront of all this? What about the economic advantages they might have?
That's a good point. If developing superintelligence is like winning some kind of, technological lottery.
Right. It makes you wonder about the whole playing field. Will it be level?
Exactly. Will there be any competition left? Or will this just turn into a whole new kind of arms race where only the biggest companies, the ones with the deepest pockets, can even afford to compete?
It's a valid concern, definitely. Da Silva, he's worried about the potential for monopolies. Like, imagine just one company controlling the ASI that manages, say, all global shipping or something like that.
Oh, wow. That's a lot of power for one company.
Right. It's a level of dominance we haven't really seen before.
And what happens to the companies that can't keep up? Do they just get left behind?
These are the questions that, honestly, we need to be grappling with right now before this tech gets even more powerful. Because who knows, maybe then it'll be even harder to control, you know? And that's where things get really interesting.
Okay. Maybe interesting isn't the right word. Maybe a little scary. I don't know. This is definitely a bigger conversation than we can have in just one deep dive. It feels bigger than that.
Oh, absolutely. We're talking massive implications here. But what I find so fascinating is that there might be signs of ASI already emerging, like subtle signs that, we might not even recognize yet.
Okay, now you have to tell me more. What kind of signs are we talking about?
Well, there's this really interesting point in the article. It's from Ethan Mollick.
Okay, I know that name. He's done a lot of work on AI, right?
He has. He says that traders, Wall Street traders, they might be like the canaries in the coal mine when it comes to ASI, showing us it's arrived.
Canaries in the coal mine. Okay, I'm intrigued, but you're going to have to explain that one.
Okay, so picture this. You've got all these high-frequency traders, right? They're watching their algorithms.
Making a zillion trades a second, trying to get every last fraction of a cent.
Exactly. It's all about speed. But then, imagine ASI comes along.
And suddenly these algorithms are slow.
It would be like, I don't know, an amateur chess player going up against, like, Magnus Carlsen and actually winning.
Wow, yeah. That would definitely turn some heads on Wall Street.
And that's just it, It would shake the foundations of, like, the whole financial system. It would be a sign that things have fundamentally changed.
Okay, that's kind of blowing my mind a little bit. So we've got this potential future, right, where superintelligence is, like, calling the shots, maybe even literally. Are there, like, ethical guidelines in place for this kind of thing to make sure ASI is used for good, not for, evil?
That's the big question, right? And the article does emphasize that, we have to think of the ethical side of all this.
It's not just about, like, faster algorithms.
Exactly. We're talking about technology that could reshape, well, everything.
So no pressure them. But seriously, we can't just leave this up to the techies, right?
Oh, absolutely not. This is going to take, like, a global effort. We need everyone involved. Technologists, ethicists, policymakers, everyone.
Yeah, I'm with you on that one. But going back to the article for a second, it mentions that AI is probably going to lead to job displacement.
Right. It's a concern.
It is. But then there's also this idea of humans and AI collaborating. So which is it? Are we working together? Or is AI going to be so smart it just does everything itself?
Yeah. I mean, if AI gets so much smarter than us, where does that leave us?
It's easy to go down that, like, kind of, I don't know, that rabbit hole of, like, oh, the robots are just going to take over.
Right.
But it's not necessarily about AI doing everything for us. It's more about, I think, empowering us to do things we couldn't even imagine before.
Okay. I like where you're going with that. So less about replacement, more about, like, enhancement.
Yeah, exactly. Think about it this way. We invented calculators, but we still use math, don't we?
True.
AI, it could be that tool that helps us tackle the really, really complex problems, Helps us make better decisions, even unlock new levels of creativity. So instead of being afraid of AI, we need to figure out how to work with it, how to use it to our advantage.
That's the key. It's a total mindset shift. It's about adapting, learning new skills, realizing that the future, it belongs to the people who can actually harness this power, not shy away from it.
Okay, you know what? Now you're getting me kind of excited about this whole ASI thing. I mean, it's less about robots taking over the world and more about, like, this partnership, this collaboration between humans and machines.
That's a good way to put it, yeah. And who knows, maybe it could lead to something truly amazing. Like, imagine a world where AI is helping us solve climate change or develop new medical treatments, even explore the universe in ways we can't even fathom right now.
Okay, see, now that's the future I want to be a part of. But seriously, it sounds like we are on the verge of something huge, like massively transformative.
We are. There's no doubt about it. And look, anytime you have a technological shift this big, there are going to be challenges, there are going to be bumps in the road. But if we stay informed, if we have these conversations, if we approach this whole thing with a sense of curiosity, with, like, a cautious optimism, I think we can create a future where AI benefits everyone.
I couldn't agree more. Well, that was quite the deep dive, to say the least. We covered a lot today. I mean, we talked about the potential arrival of superintelligence, what it could mean for our jobs, for businesses, for, well, pretty much everything.
For society as we know it, really.
Exactly. It's a lot to wrap our heads around. But if there's one thing I want our listeners to take away from today's conversation, it's this. The future of AI, it's not set in stone.
It's not inevitable.
Exactly. It's something that we are all creating right now with every choice we make, every action we take. So let's be mindful of that.
I love that.
And for anyone listening who wants to learn more, I definitely recommend checking out PYMNTS.com. They have a ton of great articles on AI, on the future of business, all sorts of really interesting stuff.
It's a goldmine of information, honestly.
Indeed.
And staying informed, that's the first step towards making sure AI works for us, not the other way around.
Couldn't have said it better myself. And on that note, it's time to wrap up this episode of The Deep Dive. But before we go, we want to leave you with a final thought, something to ponder. As we stand here on the edge of this new era of intelligence, what role will you play? What kind of future will you help create? Think about it. And until next time, keep exploring, keep asking questions, and keep diving deep.